Our tale begins beneath a stunning sky. We observe a monk asking someone if they wish to learn about Yonho. We are introduced to the living Buddha, Master Mu-san. A lanky scholar declares his desire to understand Yonho's story as he's gathering details to chronicle his legacy. With a strained calm expression, the monk explains that Yonho, known as the luminous martial emperor, was a deeply compassionate and honorable man. Surely the Buddha sent him to guide them. Thrilled, the scholar begins noting everything, remarking that it aligns with his expectations. He inquires about Yonho's daily life. The monk appears visibly uneasy. Unable to maintain his composure, the monk, swearing at Yonho, admits he can't continue. Shocked by a monk's curse, the scholar is thrown into disarray. The scene shifts to the Hubei Peng clan, where the scholar is expelled from their midst. We meet the furious supreme elder of the Hubei Peng clan, Peng Dojuk. Enraged at the mention of Yonho, he demands to know why a miserable, despicable person like the scholar dares to inquire about Yonho. The elder orders someone to fetch a sack of salt and spread it around where the scholar stands. The scholar is stunned and frightened, noticing everyone's identical reaction to Yonho's name. We receive an account of Yonho, the luminous martial emperor. He was a mythic figure who brought an end to an age of turmoil, a true nobleman, a great soul, and a celebrated heroic warrior. Renowned worldwide. Some hail him as the greatest ever, others as the ultimate chivalrous fighter. We see the scholar heading somewhere, using a qigong technique. The scholar wonders why everyone shuns discussing Yonho. As a historian, he feels compelled to record even the obscured facets of history, and today he might finally uncover the truth. We meet the beggar sex divine mad dog. The mad dog roars with laughter upon learning the scholar was driven out from Shaolin in the Hubei Peng clan. The scholar confirms, noting that reactions were nearly identical everywhere he went. As soon as he mentioned Yonho's name, the mad dog interrupts, saying it's no surprise they'd react that way. Startled, the scholar listens as the main story begins, set 100 years ago in the Guangdong Y clan. Yonho was utterly deplorable. We meet the 12-year-old Yonho, half asleep, mumbling about his ambition to become the mightiest. From the mad dog's perspective, there was once a boy who aspired to be the greatest in the world. Raised in a martial clan, he was taught the honor of warriors and understood that the fastest path to greatness was unyielding effort. For a boy with such determination, there was one small hitch. It was too late to start today. We see Yonho rise and gaze at the sunset. Lost in deep thought, he then slips back under his blanket, lamenting that today was meant to be the day he began his journey to supremacy. He resolves to rest well tonight and begin training tomorrow. We hear someone's footsteps and see someone appearing in Yonho's room, telling Yonho to get up. He again tells Yonho to get up, but this time while shouting, Yonho reluctantly gets up. We are introduced to the patriarch of Guangdong's Y clan, the righteous, chivalrous swordsman Yonho's father, asking Yonho does he know what time it is. Yonho replies saying he saw the sun. Yonho's father says despite seeing the sun, he is still lying on his bed. Yonho cheekily says it's because the sun is still going down. Yonho's father asks, does he know how long he has been holed up in his room? Yonho says was it 2 days or maybe 3, and then he comes to the conclusion that it was 2 days. Calling Yonho a useless brat, his father says it's been 4 days. He has been rolling around wrapped in a blanket for 4 damn days. Yonho's father asks him, doesn't his back hurt from lying around for that long? Even a bear would flip over from sweat after 3 days. With a nervous laugh, Yonho says that's why he gets up every now and again. Hearing that, Yonho's father gets angry and grits his teeth. Yonho says actually he tried to train today, but every time he opened his eyes, the sun was already setting. And when the sun sets, one has to sleep. That way, one can get up early the next day for training. While screaming and calling Yonho a freaking brat, his father flips over his bed and says he is finally going to fix Yonho's rotten attitude today. From the mad dog's perspective, with a little pun, he says today in the great Guangdong's Y household, the sun was already going down. The scene shifts to Guangdong's Y clan office, where we see the patriarch clearly distressed. We are introduced to the administrator of Guangdong's Y clan, Zhou Bang, Asking the patriarch is his stress about the second young master again. The patriarch says who else would he be worried about? The administrator tells the patriarch not to worry and that Yonho will mature soon enough. The patriarch says it's all his fault. We get an explanation about Wai Zhonghan, the patriarch of the great Guangdong's Wai clan. He left on a martial dual pilgrimage the year Yonho turned 2. We are introduced to the patriarch of Guangdong's Wai clan, Han Sang-a, the unborn child Wai Su Rian, the eldest child Sanho, and the second son Yonho. At that time, Wai Zhonghan thought the journey would only last 2 years at most. However, he got caught up in various incidents, and it wasn't until 8 years later that Wai Zhonghan was able to return. Though he earned the honorary title of righteous, chivalrous swordsman during that time, what he lost was far too great. When he returned home, his once gentle wife had become fiercer than a tiger, and his beloved son, whom he thought wouldn't be a problem at all, had grown into a lazy sloth. We see why Zhonghan sighed deeply. The administrator tells the patriarch not to worry and there must still be a way. The patriarch asks what way. The administrator says, has the patriarch forgotten that he will be returning soon? The patriarch asks who's he, but then the patriarch realizes who he is. The administrator says after 3 years, he will return from the academy. The patriarch gives out a sly smirk, thinking there is one person Yonho is actually scared of. We see someone arriving behind Yonho. Yonho thinks, why is he suddenly getting chills? When Yonho looks behind, he sees his older brother. We are introduced to the eldest son of Guangdong's Wai clan, Sanho. Sanho asks Yonho how long he has been asleep. Apparently nervous, Yonho asks, when did Sanho get home? Sanho says he asked Yonho first. While scratching the back of his head, Yonho gets nervous and doesn't say anything. Sanho gives out an intense gaze at Yonho. Yonho gets scared and says it's not what Sanho thinks and that Yonho trained early this morning and he trained really hard and he just took a nap because he got tired. And true. Sanho asks Yonho did he really train. Yonho replies positively. Sanho asks Yonho to use a technique to split that candle into 2. Sanho wants to see how much Yonho has improved over these 3 years. Holding a sword, Yonho reluctantly gets into position. Sanho asks Yonho what is he doing and asks him to go ahead. Yonho starts making excuses, saying they are indoors and it could be dangerous. Sanho shouts, saying he will take responsibility and asks Yonho to show Sanho what he has got. Yonho starts to prepare. We see Yonho going forward, swinging his sword. He tries to show off a great sword technique, the soaring dragon technique, but nothing happens to the candle. Seeing that, Yonho thinks he screwed up. With disappointment, Sanho says 3 years has passed. 3 is enough to master a sword technique and move on to the next level, but Yonho has gotten worse than he was 3 years ago. The scene shifts to the Wai family's dinner hall, where we see them having dinner. Yonho thinks he is going to get indigestion, and he is sure of it. The patriarch asks Sanho how was the martial academy life, and has he encountered any difficulties? Sanho says it was fine, and if there were no hardships, it wouldn't be training. He believes they are essential to overcome himself. The patriarch tells Sanho that he has suffered a lot in his absence. Sanho says his father was the one who had it harder being away for so long. The patriarch asks Sanho, is there any other issues? Sanho says there is one. The matriarch asks what it is. Sanho says it's about Yonho, and everyone gets surprised. Sanho thinks they need to bring Yonho to his martial academy. Hearing that, Yonho gets surprised, scared, terrified all at the same time. The scene shifts to the mad dog saying even Master Musan and Pengdoja grind their teeth at the mere mention of Yonho's name, and that was when the great history began. Back then, no one could have imagined that this lazy boy would one day shake the world. Just like that, Yonho was half forced to go to the martial academy. His family was a bit upset. We are introduced to Yonho's younger sister Suryan, crying and asking Yonho not to go. While laughing, his father tells him to come back as a man. Yonho tells his sister not to cry and that he will be back. From the mad dog's perspective, the journey of Sanho and Yonho was smooth. Well, for Yonho, that is. Yonho asks his brother, are they almost there? Sanho says there's 10 more days left. Hearing 10 days remaining, Yonho gets surprised. Sanho says they would have gotten there in 5 days if Yanho knew how to ride a horse. From back there, Yanho tells Sanho that he has never ridden a horse before. Sanho says he wasn't blaming Yanho and was just answering Yanho's question. Yanho asks Sanho to rest and asks does he know how steep this hill is. Yanho is very tired and he feels like his back and butt are going to burst. Seeing some people lying under a dead tree, Yanho tells Sanho to go there and shows those people are resting too. Seeing that, Sanho gets really surprised. Sanho gets down from his horse. Yanho asks him what is he going to do. Sanho appears in front of the lying bodies. While checking them, Yanho asks Sanho what is he doing. Sanho tells Yanho that they are too late and that the people lying there are all dead. Hearing that, Yanho gets really surprised. Sanho shows Yanho something, saying this is a technique called the flower indulging palm. It used to be called crimson flower palm, but because of a rapist named Seo Jukai, who went around committing evil acts using this technique, it came to be called the flower indulging palm. Hearing of a rapist, Yanho asks Sanho is he saying that the rapist is around here. Sanho says the rapist goes for women who are climbing the mountains, and these bodies mean that Seo Jukai ambushed them while trying to get a woman. In other words, there is a woman in danger somewhere around here. Telling Yanho to stay here, Sanho leaves, saying he will be back. Yanho screams at Sanho, saying is he telling Yanho to stay here with these corpses. By that time, Sanho goes very far. Yanho gets frustrated. He looks around. He looks at the horses and the bodies and says he's screwed. The sky turns black as if it will rain anytime. Yanho screams, calling Sanho a liar, and asks what's taking him so long. Sanho should have just brought Yanho along. Yanho thinks did something happen to Sanho. There's no way he would be this late otherwise. Yanho thinks he needs to do something. He might become a tiger's dinner if he just loiters around here. Suddenly, thunderstorm strikes and Yanho gets scared. Rain starts to fall. We see Yanho, the horses, and the bodies in the rain, and Yanho thinking he is really screwed. Thinking how did he end up like this? Yanho struggles to put the bodies onto the horse's back. He gets frustrated thinking he can't just leave the bodies behind since they might become tiger food, and he can't bury them because it's raining, and he needs to find shelter. Suddenly, the horses don't listen to Yanho. Suddenly, thunder strikes, and one of the horses kicks Yanho, and he falls down the hill. Yanho wakes up in pain. He hurt his back while falling and curses the horses. He gets up and finds himself in a cave. He gets happy, thinking he found shelter from the rain. Then the horses also come back to the cave. Yanho ties down the horses and thinks he can't even hit them. Seeing his dirty clothes, Yanho thinks what a mess, and that is why he prefers to stay home. Yanho leaves a mark outside the cave so that his brother can find him. Not knowing what to do, Yanho lies down to sleep. After some time, Yanho wakes up and hopes that nothing happened to his brother. Then he thinks his brother is strong, and so he will be fine. Then Yanho falls asleep. He starts sleeping soundly. Some time passes. Suddenly, we see a blue light around Yanho. Slowly, the blue light wraps around Yanho and lifts him in the air. The light starts taking the sleeping Yanho somewhere. We see the light taking Yanho inside an invisible barrier. After some time, Yanho wakes up. He looks around and thinks, where is he? He sees the place looks like the cave he was in. Seeing the different structure, Yanho thinks, did he go deeper? Did he roll in deeper somehow while sleeping? Suddenly, a voice can be heard saying, fated human. Hearing the voice, Yanho gets scared and screams. Then he falls towards the wall, and when he looks up, he sees a blue light spear. The voice says, welcome to the fated place, successor of my radiant sword. Yanho asks, is the voice speaking through the sparkling thing? The voice says yes, and that he has transcended the restraints of a physical being, and he is speaking to Yanho from beyond time and space. The voice tells Yanho to accept his will and rule over the world. Hearing that, Yanho screams, saying it's a ghost. The voice tells Yanho to not be afraid and that the voice is already dead. Only his will has been left here. He has prepared this for someone who will get here after him to accept his will without doubt. Yanho thinks this situation seems familiar. A cave without human presence, an old man's will. With a disgusting smile, Yanho thinks is this a fateful chance. He thinks the heavens are rewarding him for his kindness. He wouldn't have to go to the martial training hall if he becomes strong right here. The old man's voice says there is no time, and to inherit his sword and write the morals of the world. He will teach Yahello his radiant sword and ask Yahello to train endlessly. The voice tells Yahello he should be talented enough if he has the old man's blood. And if Yahello trains hard here for 30 years, he should be able to replicate the old man somewhat. Hearing of 30 years, Yahello gets surprised and says he doesn't think this fate was for him and to look for the next person. The old man gets speechless for a moment and, in surprise, asks Yahello why. Yahello says he would rather let this go than stay here for 30 years. Back to Mad Dog's perspective. He says that fateful meeting is how the loser Yahello came to be so strong. Yahello tells the old man that he doesn't think this is fate and to find someone else. Then Yahello runs off. The old man asks Yahello to wait. When Yahello looks back, he sees the light turn into an old man. We are introduced to Baek Moo-han. Seeing the old man, Yahello says he was right. The old man is a scammer. The old man says, how dare Yahello call him a scammer? Yahello says that the old man pretended to be one thing, and when that didn't work, he revealed his true self. The old man says he wasn't pretending, he is actually a spirit who has left his body. Yahello doesn't believe the old man and punches him. His hand goes through the old man, and he falls down. The old man asks Yahello what is he doing. Seeing Yahello's hand pass through the old man, Yahello screams, saying the old man is a real ghost. The old man says this is the spirit transmission arts, something only martial artists at a very high level can use. But Yahello says they call them ghosts. The old man gets angry and screams at Yahello, saying he is not a ghost. Back to Mad Dog. Saying the story, he tells the scholar that's why Yahello met his master. The scholar asks Mad Dog, does something like the spirit transmission arts really exist? Mad Dog says it's a technique that only martial artists of the highest level can attain. The young scholar asks, then who's one martial artist who can use spirit transmission arts? Mad Dog asks the young scholar, does he know the Sword Emperor? The young scholar says that's a given. The Sword Emperor is the strongest person in history after all, the greatest person of the Thousand Swords Baek clan, and the master who will be remembered in martial arts history. Mad Dog says yes, he is talking about Baek Moo-han, the Radiant Sword, and the man who was later called Sword Emperor is the Radiant Martial Sovereign's master. The young scholar gets surprised and asks, didn't the Sword Emperor live 300 years ago? Mad Dog says that's right. The Sword Emperor is from an already forgotten generation. Regardless, it's true that the Sword Emperor made Yahello. Hearing that, the scholar says how incredible and asks Mad Dog, the Radiant Martial Sovereign who knew that must have requested to become the Sword Emperor's disciple immediately, right? Mad Dog says it was the opposite. The Sword Emperor, who figured none his descendants looked for him for 300 years, needed a disciple at all costs. Why Yahello casually asked the old man, why is he throwing a tantrum? And Yahello really can't learn from him and that he is leaving. The old man tells Yahello, did he really think the old man would let him go so easily? The old man closes the cave's entrance. Seeing that, Yahello gets irritated. The old man starts laughing and asks Yahello what does he think. The cave door is a super thick stone gate, and with Yahello's current abilities, he will never lift or break it. But if he learns the old man's martial arts, he will be able to cut it like a piece of paper and leave. Saying there's no helping it, Yahello pulls out a sword. Seeing the sword, the old man says he told Yahello that he can't cut that stone gate with his abilities. Despite that, Yahello starts scratching the stone wall. Seeing that, the old man gets speechless. The old man asks Yahello what is he doing. Yahello says can't the old man see he is digging a hole? No matter how strong the stone is, it's still stone, which means it will slowly break down if Yahello grinds it with metal. Yahello will break through in about a year or two. The old man asks Yahello, will he do that for a year or two? While laughing, Yahello says that's funny when it's coming from someone who spoke of training Yahello for 30 years. In anger, the old man thinks this bastard is a madman, and the old man can't even beat him to death. The old man hovers around Yahello and tells him to just try learning, and he won't disappoint Yahello. Yahello says he doesn't like the old man. Then the old man says he will allow Yahello to leave after 20 years. Hearing of 20 years, Yahello lies down and says 20 years is too long, and Yahello would consider if the old man said 3 years. In his mind, the old man gets angry and calls Yahello a bastard. But with a smiling face, the old man questions Yahello. He wants to learn the Sword Emperor's martial arts in 3 years. Even if Zhang Sanfeng came back to life, he wouldn't be able to do that. While getting up, Yan-ho says then he guesses they are not meant to be. We see the old man getting red in rage and cursing Yan-ho rapidly, which we don't hear apparently. Then the old man tells 5 years. He asks Yan-ho to give him 5 years, and he will do whatever it takes to make Yan-ho the strongest in the world in 5 years. Hearing that, Yan-ho thinks the strongest martial artist in the world in 5 years. Plus, Yan-ho has never even heard of a spirit that's as vivid as the old man. With a disgusting face, Yan-ho thinks maybe the technique just isn't told by word of mouth. Maybe the old man is telling half the truth. If so, the old man might really have been the strongest master in the world. Yan-ho decides to become a martial master using this opportunity. Then Yan-ho says fine, he will try it. Back to Mad Dog, where he is saying, of course, why Yan-ho didn't know the old man was the Sword Emperor at the time. But the Sword Emperor was quite unfortunate as well, since the person he met at the end of his life just happened to be a lazy sloth. The old man gets angry, calling Yan-ho a bastard, tells him to wake up. Yan-ho says he is so tired and asks the old man, does he not sleep? But then Yan-ho realizes that the old man is dead. But Yan-ho is a human, and humans need to sleep. Doesn't the old man know that? Baek Muhan curses the skies, the heavens, the earth, everything, and then tells Yan-ho he is sorry and to train. But Yan-ho slept all day long and practiced the moves once during training. The always angry poor Sword Emperor says at this rate it will take them 50 years, not 5. Yan-ho asks, is there no easier way to learn? The old man says it's already easy enough. Yun-ho thinks if the old man didn't speak, at the very least the old man would be less annoying. Yun-ho tells the old man this is why he needs to meet a talented master. We see Baek Muhan red in anger and at the verge of chi deviation, that is, if he had a body. The Sword Emperor thinks, wanting worldly success, wanting to pass down his martial arts, leaving his spirit like this, forcing him to endure this terrible state. If he had a body, he would beat Yan-ho and then teach him. We see Yan-ho lying down and rolling. Calling the old man master, Yan-ho asks him how did he do that? The old man asks what? Yan-ho says dropping that stone gate. And can't the old man use that power to manipulate Yan-ho's body to teach him martial arts? The old man says he just pulled the string on a device he had already made in advance. Yan-ho asks how, since the old man doesn't have a body. The old man says it's unrelated to the body. He simply used psychic levitation to pull the string with chi alone. Then the old man realizes something interesting. Then he gives out a devilish laugh and thinks, why didn't he realize it earlier? The old man keeps laughing. Yan-ho asks, what's wrong with the old man, and has he finally gone crazy? The old man says he was too fixated on thinking that he didn't have a body, or are there incomplete parts, since he has been maintaining this spirit for 300 years. Anyway, thanks to Yan-ho, the old man learned something good. Yan-ho asks the old man what is he mumbling about. But then something passes by Yan-ho. At first he doesn't realize what it is, but then he sees a rock on the stone wall. While laughing, the old man says thanks to Yan-ho, he realized that even if the old man doesn't have a body, he can still move rocks whenever he wants. Yan-ho gets terrified at that and backs off. The old man continues, and if he can move rocks, while levitating some rocks, the man says he can do something like this. Seeing this, Yan-ho tells the old man to stop, and he wants to talk. But the old man launches the rocks onto Yan-ho. After that day, Baek Muhan and Yan-ho's training continued day and night. Yan-ho learned swordsmanship without rest during the day, and they debated during the night. Whenever Yan-ho slept, he tried using the unparalleled dream mythic arts Baek Muhan taught him. Living became the sword. Life has become the sword. Yan-ho had no time to be lazy, and that was how 5 years passed by in a flash. And when Yan-ho returned, he shook the world. One day ago, before he got out, while Yan-ho is sleeping, the old man calls him. While getting up, Yan-ho says he wanted to sleep a bit more. We see Yan-ho has a surprised look on his face. We see the old man calm and sitting cross-legged. He tells Yan-ho to come here. While sitting, Yan-ho asks what's going on. The old man says he has learned martial arts his entire life. His hope was to see the end of it, so he didn't bother with anything but martial arts. At the end of solely chasing martial arts, the old man became a crabby old man who was treated distantly by his clan. Yun-ho thinks, what's up with the old man today? It's so unlike him. The old man continues, When he thinks about it, it was obvious why his clan didn't come looking for him. After all, the old man abandoned his children and family for martial arts. He thought seeing the end of martial arts would give him everything. But he was wrong. Martial arts is what humans do. So not walking with people to see the end of swordsmanship is meaningless, and Yan Ho helped the old man realize that. The old man says he taught someone for the first time. He was angry and annoyed. He also felt happiness and learned joy from seeing Yan Ho grow. And he also learned about fondness. Calling the old man master, Yan Ho asks what's going on with him. He is acting as if they will never see each other again. The old man confirms it, saying it's time. Hearing that, Yan Ho panics and asks what is the old man talking about, and does he think Yan Ho will fall for it? The old man said they should train for 30 years, and it's only been 5. The old man has to exist for 25 more years. The old man says he did say that, but the internal chai that he gave to Yan Ho in the form of an elixir was so Yan Ho could live without eating in here, and that's not something as easy to maintain as Yan Ho would think. The old man says he has no more power left, and it's time to say goodbye. The sad and panicked Yan Ho asked the old man why he didn't tell him. If he had, Yan Ho would have left, found food, and come back to train. The old man thinks if Yan Ho left this place, he doubts Yan Ho would come back. The old man says he understands how Yan Ho feels. While getting up, the old man says he enjoyed the time they shared. The old man wanted to watch Yan Ho travel and sightsee the world. But this is fine too. The old man looks at Yan Ho with fondness, and in his eyes he can clearly see Yan Ho crisscrossing through the world. The old man tells Yan Ho to go see the world and to keep it within him. If so, other things will naturally follow. He tells Yan Ho to also see people before he sees the world. The old man says while looking up, he didn't see what was at his feet. He warns Yan Ho not to make the same mistakes that he did. Even if the old man can't see Yan Ho again, even if no one else knows about the old man's existence, Yan Ho's movements, Yan Ho's swordsmanship, the old man is within them. While disappearing, the old man says, so even if Yan Ho's not outstanding or great, that's fine too. Calling the old man master, Yan Ho says he can't leave already. There is still so much he hasn't learned. Yan Ho asks his master to stay just a bit longer, even if it's just for one day. While disappearing, the Sword Emperor Baek Muhan's last words can be heard, telling Yan Ho to be happy. We see Yan Ho crying and saying the old man could have said something a bit earlier. Back to the present, where we see a clearly irritated Yan Ho saying, so this is why the old man left without telling him in advance. We see Yan Ho holding a cloth. Yan Ho says, when did the old man stack all this? And the old man should have left nicely. Yan Ho screams, saying, what the hell is this? Before disappearing, Baek Muhan wrote a message on Yan Ho's clothes. To summarize, Yan Ho's martial arts that he learned as quickly as possible within 5 years was still incomplete. Since Yan Ho wouldn't train once Baek Muhan disappeared, Baek Muhan put a sort of feature on Yan Ho's body. That being, Baek Muhan's inner elixir that Yan Ho had swallowed would cause his martial arts to improve. One might see it as automatically getting stronger, but it's not exactly that. If the martial arts Yan Ho is experiencing and obtaining is slower than the speed of the inner elixir, his inner energy would be sucked in by Baek Muhan, and Yan Ho would die. To summarize, Yan Ho will die if he is being lazy in training. Being irritated, Yan Ho says that damned old man was up to no good. The other writing in the cloth was to travel the world and see different things. When Yan Ho sees the world, he will feel things. And when he feels things, he will learn things. The old man tells Yan Ho to not be satisfied with becoming a small person, staying in a small place. Baek Muhan tells Yan Ho to see big things and become a big person. So the first place Yan Ho must go is Rulin. He is to find the world's greatest scholar and stay with him. Yan Ho will definitely feel something. We see Yan Ho is saying he was going to go home, but he will go back after resolving everything. Yan Ho thinks he has to do what he must. Then he gives his final bows to his master. Then Yan Ho leaves for Rulin. In front of the cave, we see Baek Muhan reappearing. He gives out a loud devilish laugh. Calling Yan Ho a bastard, he says if Yan Ho doesn't learn about the world, he will dry up like a mummy and die. What kind of martial arts exists in the world like that? Baek Muhan can't let Yan Ho live in some random place in the middle of nowhere. The world is too broad to let Yan Ho do that. With a happy and satisfying face, Baek Moo-han says it's a waste of Yeon-ho's martial arts. The scene shifts to Kai-fung. We are introduced to a new version of Yeon-ho as he has starved for days. Now he is like a skeleton. He arrives in front of a beggar. We are introduced to the beggar's ex-branch leader, Jang Ail. Looking at Yeon-ho, Jang Ail thinks, "Who is this mummy?" Yeon-ho says he came because he had something to ask. Jang Ail questions, saying, "Money?" Yeon-ho asks, "Does he need to pay?" The beggar says, "Of course. Nothing in this world is free." Looking at Yeon-ho, Jang Ail thinks his voice sounds like he's barely 20, but his face looks to be 50. Anyway, Jang Ail has never seen such a beggar among all the beggars he has seen. Jang Ail says he wants to do it for free since they are in the same field. But it's the rule here. Yeon-ho asks, "Same field?" Jang Ail says yes, since they are both beggars. Yeon-ho asks, "How does he look like a beggar?" Jang Ail says he is obviously a beggar. Anyway, if Yeon-ho has no money, Jang Ail can't give him info or anything. He asks Yeon-ho to leave and to come back with some money after doing some begging. Yeon-ho says why would he beg when he is not a beggar? With a stiff face, Jang Ail says, "It's not that beggars beg, it's that once one begs, one is a beggar." Yeon-ho looks like he could make money by just putting a basket in front of where he sits. So why is he wasting his talents? Jang Ail suddenly asks Yeon-ho, does he want to work with Jang Ail? We see a lot of money in front of Yeon-ho. Jang Ail gets happy and says to earn half a year of operating costs for this branch, and half a day, he says the god of wealth has come. Jang Ail asks Yeon-ho what he wants to know. Yeon-ho says a list of locations, hobbies, and specialties of famous scholars, and a list of locations, hobbies, and specialties of famous blacksmiths. Jang Ail tells Yeon-ho he did promise him, so Jang Ail will tell him, and he asks Yeon-ho to come back after 7 days. Yeon-ho lies down, saying he has nowhere to go and has nothing to do, so he will just stay here. Jang Ail says fine. After a few days, Jang Ail comes to regret those words. One of the beggars comes running to Jang Ail saying there's trouble. Jang Ail asks what's the fuss about? What trouble could there be for some beggars? The beggar says he thinks they are going to starve to death. The beggar brings Jang Ail to the location. Jang Ail gets surprised at what he sees. One of the passers-by, calling the beggars bastards, says if they want to be beggars, they would have to at least be on that level. And we see Mummy Wa Yeon-ho getting a lot of coins just by sitting on the road. Jang Ail gets terrified and surprised. Money keeps pouring onto Yeon-ho. Why Yeon-ho gives out a laugh and says making money is easy. Why Yeon-ho starts taking over the beggar world. We see Yeon-ho saying he is thirsty. While lying down, he tells Jang Ail to bring him water. When they bring Yeon-ho water, Yeon-ho says the bowl is dirty. Jang Ail beats the beggar that brought the water and tells him to bring water over in a new bowl. Yeon-ho says it's also lukewarm. While kicking the beggars, Jang Ail tells them to bring cold water from the damn mountains. While lying face down, Yeon-ho says, "Nice, how nice," and Jang Ail gets fired up in rage. Jang Ail thinks he is a branch leader of the beggar sect, having to act as a servant for that stupid beggar. But if Jang Ail kicks Yeon-ho out, his guys will strive. Jang Ail thinks, when's the damn information that Yeon-ho requested gonna get here? They are all gonna end up dead at this rate. One of the beggars comes running happily, saying the information is here. Hearing that, Jang Ail also gets happy. Yeon-ho sees the information. Yeon-ho asks Jang Ail, is that all? Does Jang Ail really want to sell something like this for money? Jang Ail asks Yeon-ho, what does he mean? Jang Ail takes the paper from Yeon-ho's hands. He sees the information and thinks, are those bastards actually trying to kill them all? This information is only like half of what Yeon-ho requested. Jang Ail thinks this is bad, and he needs to do something. Yeon-ho asks Jang Ail if the information is not complete because Yeon-ho didn't pay them enough. Jang Ail takes Yeon-ho somewhere else to get the information. We see a womanly figure standing. Calling Jang Ail fox dog, she says how rare it is to see Jang Ail here. We are introduced to the house sex Kai-fung's branch leader, Gue Nang Nang. Jang Ail greets the branch leader. While laughing, Yeon-ho says, is Jang Ail's title a dog? Is he a little despicable? Jang Ail says he needs information while Yeon-ho keeps calling him despicable. Branch leader Gue says this is surprising. The beggar sect's branch leader of Kai-fung is coming to the house sect for information. She is sure that Zhang Il is aware that they are rivals. She asks Zhang Il what brings him to the house sect. Zhang Il says he is not asking for the beggar sect, and he has brought a customer here. We see Yan Ho still laughing and calling Zhang Il a despicable. Branch leader Gui asks Zhang Il, is he kidding her right now? She says it's not the beggar sect asking, but the client is a beggar. She asks Zhang Il, is he insulting them, or is this a provocation of sorts? Branch leader Gui says they do not have information to sell to the beggar sect. Hearing that, Yan Ho says he is not from the beggar sect. While turning back, branch leader Gui says she will have no choice but to take action if they keep insulting them in this manner. Yan Ho should be aware that they have pride. Yan Ho asks, isn't the house sect an intelligence organization? But she doesn't even know if Yan Ho is from the beggar sect or not. She is living off selling information when she doesn't even know that. Yan Ho tells branch leader Gui that she doesn't even have the basics down. Hearing that, she gets angry and calls one of her guards, Gongmu. When Gongmu replies, she asks, who is Yan Ho? Gongmu says they don't know about Yan Ho, but he is not from the beggar sect. Hearing that, branch leader Gui gets irritated. Then Yan Ho says, see? Now she can sell Yan Ho information, right? Clearly being irritated, branch leader Gui says no, and she doesn't want to. She tells them to get out. Hearing that, Yan Ho laughs and says she doesn't have a business mindset. Yan Ho is offering to pay her, yet she still refuses. Yan Ho guesses it's not long until the house sect is done for. Branch leader Gui warns Yan Ho he had better watch his mouth unless he wants to see his limbs cut off. Yan Ho says he is not wrong, is he? Yan Ho calls the branch leader an old lady. We see the old lady's face. Sorry guys, forgive me. I can't explain what she is feeling. Branch leader Gui asks Yan Ho if he is insulting her. Then she tells Gongmu to teach Yan Ho a lesson. We see a masked man going towards Yan Ho to strike him. When Gongmu's hand is about to reach Yan Ho, he pushes Zhang Il to the side and punches Gongmu. We see Gongmu head down on the floor unconscious. The branch leader gets really surprised. The same goes for Zhang Il. Branch leader Gui says out loud that Yan Ho is a martial master. Yan Ho apologizes and says it's just his instinct to counterattack if someone tries to hit him. He would have gone much easier if Gongmu told him he was going to attack. Zhang Il thinks he thought that Yan Ho probably learned martial arts, but Zhang Il didn't expect Yan Ho to be this strong. Zhang Il comes to the conclusion that Yan Ho is basically a monster. While scratching the back of his head, Yan Ho says this is all that old man's fault. Branch leader Gui stutters for a moment and says she didn't know Yan Ho was such a prestigious customer. She says in any case, it doesn't seem like they are here with good intentions. Zhang Il says she probably won't believe him, but he really is not here to fight. There was just information that the beggar sect could not obtain, so he came here to ask for her help. Branch leader Gui asks, is that why Zhang Il brought Yan Ho here? Zhang replies positively. Branch leader Gui says that Zhang Il knows this is akin to bringing a tiger over to a rabbit's den and asking for just some fur, right? Zhang Il says he knows it's hard to believe, but he is serious. Branch leader Gui says all right, she believes him. Zhang Il thanks her. Branch leader Gui says, but giving Zhang Il information is a separate matter. It's true that Zhang Ilei's client hurt her person. She asked for compensation. She continues, saying there's a simple rule in the unorthodox world. Blood for blood, a life for a life. Branch leader Gui calls her guards, the Four Shadows. We see some scary-looking guys posing. Seeing them, Yan Ho says everyone has a fancy way of making an appearance in this place. Branch leader Gui says she doesn't know what Yan Ho's purpose in being here is, but since he has hurt one of them, Yan Ho will not be able to leave unharmed. Yan Ho says, is it that hard to understand? He told her it was a mistake. Yan Ho just hit him lightly because he tried to hit Yan Ho first. With an angry face, branch leader Gui curses Yan Ho. She says the unorthodox Murm's ways are simple, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Yan Ho mocks her, saying that sounds like some loan shark bullshit. Branch leader Gui says they are going to just take a bit of flesh from Yan Ho's face and be done with it. Yan Ho says sorry to break it to her. He doesn't really have any fat on his face. He hasn't been able to eat properly recently. Branch leader Gui gets relatively angry and orders the Four Shadows to kill Yan Ho. While the Four Shadows launch attacks on Yan Ho, while scratching the back of his head, Yan Ho says he thought they were going to just carve a bit of flesh from Yan Ho's face, and now they want to kill him. That's a whole lot of interest. He mockingly says it's scary. In a moment, Yeonho wrecks them. Again, I can't explain her facial expression. Sorry. While the four shadows are still in the air, Yeonho says, "Nobody move." While exuding chi, Yeonho says he doesn't want to kill yet. Seeing that, Jang Yil gets speechless. Branch leader Gui thinks Yeonho's aura is that of a martial master. Yeonho says his master told him that if someone is willing to attack once, they will be willing to attack 3 or even 4 times. So Yeonho should never let that happen. Yeonho says he doesn't like the old man, but he has never said anything wrong. Being terrified, branch leader Gui thinks she messed with the wrong person, and he is not someone she can handle. She needs to get it together, and if she does anything wrong, this entire branch of the house sect might just meet its downfall. Branch leader Gui quickly composes herself and asks Yeonho what he wants. Yeonho says information, and the branch leader asks what kind of information. Jang Yil says he has the papers, and he hopes that she can fill out the empty spots. Looking at the paper, the branch leader thinks Jang Yil brought a monster like Yeonho to the house sect because they couldn't solve such a simple matter. Branch leader Gui says it's nothing difficult, and she just needs some time. She asks Yeonho, "Can he wait?" Yeonho replies positively. Branch leader Gui asks for 15 minutes. With an angry face, she calls Jang Yil to come with her. After some time, Jang Yil comes back, and Yeonho starts laughing at him, saying his face is like a dumpling. Yeonho asks Jang Yil if branch leader Gui beat him up. Yeonho continues, saying he guesses the beggar sect is nothing, seeing as they are getting beaten up by the house sect. Jang Yil asks, "Does that woman look like a mere regular member of the house sect?" Jang Yil says she is the daughter of the house sect leader, and she is the future leader of the house sect. She ate miracle medicines like meals and had all kinds of good things, and how could Jang Yil be a match for her? Then branch leader Gui appears behind Jang Yil. She says she brought the information, and Yeonho thanks her. She continues, saying, however, they do have their own rules. Jang Yil says, information fees. Yeonho asks how much. She says 5 nyang. Handing out 5 bronze nyang, Yeonho says that's cheap here. But Jang Yil corrects Yeonho, saying silver nyang. Then Yeonho asks, why is it so expensive? Branch leader Gui says it was actually pretty high security information, and that's why it's pricey. Then Yeonho gets up and starts leaving. Jang asks, where is he going? Yeonho says he has to go earn his silver nyang. Hearing that, Jang Yil lies on the ground and pulls Yeonho's leg, saying he brought Yeonho here for a reason. Yeonho asks, what's that supposed to mean? Clearly unwilling, Jang Yil tells Yeonho to wait a second. Jang Yil used up all the money Yeonho had earned, along with Jang Yil's hidden stash, to cough up the 5 silver nyang that Yeonho didn't have. He borrowed with an IOU. Handing out the silver, Jang Yil thinks his heart aches. Calling Yeonho an evil bastard, Jang Yil says he had to use up all his savings. Looking at the information, Yeonho says this is definitely thorough. It's in a whole other league compared to the information that the beggars bring in. Yeonho guesses the house sect guys are on a different level. Holding a piece of paper, Yeonho says he also wants to send a letter to Guangdong and asks if it's going to be expensive. Branch leader Gui says it's going to be more expensive than an escort agency, but she will do it in exchange for Yeonho answering some of her questions. She asks Yeonho his name and his age. Yeonho replies, saying his name is Y. Yeonho and he is 17 years old. Jang Yil gets surprised knowing Yeonho is younger than him. Hearing Yeonho is only 17 years old, branch leader Gui thinks his martial prowess is not that of a 17-year-old. Then she remembers his name, Y Yeonho. She realizes something and asks if Yeonho is the second son of Guangdong's Y clan. Yeonho asks if she knows him. Branch leader Gui says of course. The Guangdong's Y clan requested them to find Yeonho. Jang Yil asks Yeonho if he is Sanho's younger brother. Yeonho asks Jang Yil how he knows Yeonho's older brother. Jang Yil says Sanho is his friend. Branch leader Gui asks Yeonho if he is sending the letter to the Guangdong's Y clan. It will take at least 10 days to arrive. Yeonho says it's all right, saying they waited 5 years, and 10 more days won't hurt. Branch leader Gui hands out a red cloth, saying it marks one as a special guest of the house sect. If Yeonho ties it where he wants, an informant of the house sect will come find him. She thinks someone who is skilled enough to take down the 4 swords at the age of 17, there's no one like that in the Central Plains. Creating a connection like this with him should do them good. Yeonho says it's useless to him. Branch leader Gui says in that case, She will give information for free next time. She says it's specially for Yeonho. They don't want to lose Yeonho as a customer because of what happened earlier. Yeonho laughingly says nothing really happened, right? Jung-il says his face is like a dumpling and he has been rendered completely broke. The branch leader says it often happens when you are a loser. The scene shifts to outside where Jung-il can be seen depressed about losing his money. Yeonho, with a straight face, says money comes and goes. Besides, a beggar shouldn't be greedy like that. He tells Jung-il to tap into his beggar roots. Jung-il gets frustrated, thinking he can't even beat this guy up. Jung-il says anyway, Yeonho got the information he wanted, so they won't have to see each other anymore. Pulling Jung-il, Yeonho says there's a problem. Jung-il asks what is it. With a happy face, Yeonho says he doesn't have any money. Jung-il wanted to beat him up, but he couldn't. The scene shifts to the house sex branch, where we see branch leader Gui in deep thought. She calls Gongmu and tells him to send a letter to the main sect and to tell them the second son of the Guangdong's Y clan who went missing has come back as a martial master. Yeonho arrives at the Great Hanlim Institute. We are introduced to Song Lim, the Great Hanlim Institute. We see a scholarly man sitting beside the lake drinking his tea. We are introduced to the third grand scholar, Mun Yu-hwan. His daughter comes, saying there is a guest for him. We are introduced to Mun Yu-hwan's daughter, Mun Yu-nij. Mun Yu-hwan says he doesn't have anything on the schedule today. His daughter says they said they wanted to play a game of Go with him. Hearing of Go, Yu-hwan gets all cheered up. Yu-nij brings Yeonho. Yeonho says he hopes he is not intruding. Yu-hwan says of course not, and it is an indulgence to have guests over. He heard Yeonho wanted to play Go with him. Yeonho says that's the only kind of thing he knows how to play. Mun Yu-hwan says let's give it a go then. He says he will play white and tells Yeonho to go first. Saying Yeonho will begin, he clumsily pulls out the pieces. Seeing that, Mun Yu-hwan thinks he shouldn't expect much from Yeonho. He looks like he is here to get a free meal, so Yu-hwan will just help him out after a game. Then Yeonho makes his first move. Seeing that, Yu-hwan gets surprised and thinks, looks like Yeonho is not a beggar, and they start playing. Mun Yu-hwan thinks Yeonho is fast with his moves, and it's rare to see someone his age so experienced. They play a couple more rounds. We see Mun Yu-hwan's face start to get gloomy. He couldn't make his move. He thinks, what the hell? Yeonho is not just being fast. With a sly smile, Yeonho asks Yu-hwan, isn't he gonna go? Mun Yu-hwan thinks why Yeonho is amazing. His playstyle is like that of angry ocean waves. He is like a person crazed for battles, attacking boldly even when a fight is not necessary. If he sees even a slight opening, he charges like a starving demon and chomps down. He is a war demon. Mun Yu-hwan tells Yeonho that was a good game, and he has quite a unique playstyle. Yeonho thanks him and says it's all because of all the bullying he endured from his master. Yu-hwan questions Yeonho. Did he really have a master? Yeonho thinks back to the past of his master's tormenting and replies, saying yes, a very strict old man. Yeonho tells Mun Yu-hwan if it's not too much to ask, he would love to stay over a bit. His master told him to stay in Rulin for a while. Hearing Yeonho is following his master's teaching, Mun Yu-hwan says of course he will help. He will prepare a room for Yeonho, and he can stay as long as he likes. Yu-hwan tells his daughter Mun Yu-nij to prepare a room and clothes for Yeonho, and to guide him to the bath too. Mun Yu-nij reluctantly says she understands, but Yeonho says he doesn't have any money. Hearing that, Mun Yu-hwan laughs and says he wouldn't expect payment from a guest like him. He was actually going to ask Yeonho to stay here if he had not asked. In return, Yu-hwan requests Yeonho to play Go against him, or a guest sometimes. Yeonho says he can do that. After Yeonho and Yu-hwan greet each other, Yeonho leaves with Mun Yu-nij. While bathing, Yeonho thinks this is very nice. He hated baths when he was younger. Yeonho was almost going to cry from how nice this is. Remembering his master, Yeonho thinks this is all that damned old man's fault. We see Mun Yu-nij waiting outside the bath with clothes for Yeonho. While pouting, she thinks she doesn't get it at all. Why did her father accept someone like Yeonho as a guest? Then Yeonho comes out of the bath naked, which startled Yu-nij. Yu-nij then screams. Telling Yeonho to cover up, Yu-nij says she thought Yeonho was a ghost. Seeing Yeonho, Yu-nij blushed. Then Yeonho covers himself up with a cloth. With a cheeky tone, Yeonho asks, is that good enough? Seeing Yeonho all cleaned up, in a dramatic way, Yu-nij asks, who is he? The scene shifts to a few days later. Mun Yunij tells her father to say something to that person. Her father asks who. Yunij says the new guy. She says Yon Ho doesn't leave his room at all. He sleeps all day if he is not eating. That's what he has been doing all week. Mun Yu Huan stays silent for a moment, then says he forgot to ask Yun Ho his name. While irritated, Mun Yunij says he said that being slothful is a sin. He said one should always keep himself busy. So why isn't he saying anything about Yun Ho being lazy? Yun Ho might be a guest, but he is ruining the atmosphere. Ignoring Yunij, Mun Yu Huan says he likes Go. One can learn a lot about one's opponent when playing. One can hide one's facial expressions and watch one's words, but one cannot hide oneself when playing Go. A person who is impatient cannot play patiently, and those who are the opposite cannot learn to enjoy battle. One can tell how someone has lived their life, along with their personality, when one plays Go against them. Yan Ho's playing style was rushed and rough. Yu Huan has never seen a play style like that. Mun Yu Huan says Yan Ho is definitely not a lazy person. Yu Huan assumes Yan Ho has lived a very rough life. If the sun shines down brightly, the shadows it casts will be just as dark. If Yan Ho is being lazy, Yu Huan is sure that just means his life until now has been very hard. One should not chase away a bird that has come under the roof to avoid the rain. One should not question the bird about why it is not flying through the rain. Mun Yu Huan tells Yunij to let Yon Ho rest. Unable to say anything, Yunij says she understands. Looking at Yon Ho sleeping lazily, the room is very disorderly. Yunij boils in anger. She thinks her father's been deceived. There's no way this lazy ass is like her father described. Yunij decides she is going to kick Yon Ho out of this place. In anger, Yunij tells Yon Ho to get up. While half asleep, Yon Ho asks why should he get up. Pulling the blanket, Yunij screams and tells Yon Ho to get up. The sun is already up. Yon Ho then says to let him know when the sun sets. Unable to keep her anger inside, Yunij asks what the hell is wrong with Yon Ho. Everyone studies here, and why is he doing nothing other than sleeping for a whole week? With a smug look, Yon Ho says those people are studying because they want to study. Yon Ho is sleeping because he wants to sleep, so what's the problem? Yunij tells Yon Ho to shut up. She can't just stand watching him roll around here without even taking a bath. And who does Yon Ho think washes his bed sheets? Yon Ho at least needs to do something to pay for the food he eats. Yunij guesses he wouldn't know, but they are not that well off. They can feed people who study, but they don't have enough to feed someone who just lazes around. Yon Ho says, but her father said he can stay as long as he likes. Mun Yunij says she is the one who is in charge of money, so her father doesn't know. Yunij gives Yon Ho an intense look. Giving out a sigh, Yon Ho asks, then what should he do? Yunij tells Yon Ho to do the laundry. Looking at the pile of laundry, Yon Ho asks, does he have to do all this? And will this cover his food? Saying it's not that much, Yunij replies positively. While sneakily laughing, Yunij tells Yon Ho good luck and to make sure all the clothes are clean. She is going to make him rewash what's not clean, so he needs to do a thorough job. Yunij thinks Yon Ho deserves this. He won't be able to finish all that by today. The scene shifts to 2 hours later. We see a very surprised Mun Yunij. She sees all of the laundry is super clean and shining. She wonders how did Yon Ho do this? Looking at the clothes, she thinks were they always this white? She again wonders how the hell did he do this? We see Yon Ho is sleeping on the side. Frustrated, Yunij thinks she can't let Yon Ho laze around again. She decides she will get him. Then she brings Yon Ho to the log area. She tells him to chop all this. She gives Yon Ho a week to do this and asks, he will be able to do it, right? With an evil laugh, Yunij thinks Yon Ho will run away after a day. After some time, Yunij comes back and sees all the logs are done, and Yon Ho is sleeping on top of the logs. She again gets a surprise and thinks that should have taken 10 people 10 days to do. Then she gives Yon Ho dishwashing job, but the same thing happens this time too, and we see Yon Ho sleeping again. We see a dumbstruck Yunij. Then comes gardening, which also shines, and we see the same scene of Yon Ho sleeping. A very frustrated and angry Mun Yunij thinks, how is Yon Ho so capable? Back to Mad Dog's perspective. He says thus why Yon Ho's ruling life began, but it was a mistake to take him in. Mun Yu Huan never should have let Yon Ho into his home. The young scholar asks why. The Mad Dog says it's because that guy brings disaster wherever he goes. It may not be intended, But wherever he goes, trouble follows. It was the same in Rulin. A scholar hall that had been so quiet and peaceful was swept over with chaos once Yan Ho showed up. The scholar asks what happened. The Mad Dog says it all began when the game called Go started. We see a very irritated Yan Ho thinking, how did he get into this situation? He thought it was going to be an occasional visit. We see a big crowd waiting outside to play Go against Yan Ho. Yan Ho thinks bringing people here to play with him is cheating. Munyu Huan writes a letter saying, a stone that stays stagnant rots. A laid table waits for its owner. If the time is right, please visit for a game of Go. A master of Go appeared in the Great Hanlim Institute. He then sends the letter to various scholars across Murim. We see an irritated Yan Ho rapidly playing Go. We see a lot of scholars standing in line to play Go with Yan Ho. Yan Ho defeats one of the scholars, being indifferent, then tells the next one to come. Yan Ho is playing Go with a scholar. We see the scholar is in distress and thinking very hard. Seeing Yan Ho's move, the scholar thinks, what kind of move is that? It's basically suicide. He wonders, is it perhaps a mistake? But then he thinks there's no way it can be a mistake. It could be a mistake maybe if Yan Ho was a regular man. But the scholar's opponent is the undefeated genius of Hanlim. While nervous, he thinks Yan Ho must have some plan in mind. It's got to be a trap. He must avoid it. He is sure Yan Ho was plotting something. It's good that he avoided it. We see Yan Ho is shaking. Yan Ho looks at the scholar. We see a very irritated and angry Yan Ho, but in his mind he thinks, why? Why did the scholar back off there? Just why? Yan Ho did that so he can lose. He will be playing Go forever if he doesn't lose. In his mind, Yan Ho tells the scholar to fall for the move. Yan Ho will lose in 10 moves, so take that bait. But the scholar respectfully acknowledges his loss. While crying, Yan Ho also greets back the scholar. Nearly exhausted, Yan Ho starts walking towards his room. He kept making suicidal moves so that he could lose, but that must have been scaring his opponents instead. While scratching his head, Yan Ho thinks at this rate he is going to have more people coming to play. He would rather do the laundry. Yan Ho aches in back pain. Then Yan Ho suddenly hears someone's voice. He peeks to see who it is. We are introduced to a very disgusting-looking Nakmokpung. He is asking Yunij if she really doesn't want to marry him. Yunij says no, absolutely not. Nakmokpung says she is going to regret it. In anger, Yunij says she won't. Nakmokpung tells Yunij she better think it through again. He has always gotten what he wanted. He will never let go of something he wants. He is just offering right now, but if she keeps refusing him, it won't be an offer next time. Is she sure it's all right for the Great Hanlim Institute to fall just because of her? Hearing this, Mun Yunij gets very angry and tells Nakmokpung to do as he wishes. The Great Hanlim Institute won't fall this easily. Nakmokpung says, but he can make this happen, and he is sure Yunij is aware of it too. Yunij grits her teeth in anger. Yunij screams at Mokpung, saying she hates that about him. Does he think everything will just work out in his favor? Now Mokpung says it's not impossible. Yunij says she is never going to marry him. It's impossible. Then Yunij starts leaving, but Mokpung grabs Yunij's hand very tightly with his disgusting hand. Yunij screams and says to let her go. Mokpung says it's in her best interest to not anger him. With a disgusting gesture, Mokpung tells Yunij, does she think she can still act so bold, even if he tries to take her right here, right now? Hearing this, Yunij gets very scared. From behind, Yan Ho tells Mokpung that's not something he should be saying in someone else's house. Hearing Yan Ho's voice, Yunij gets surprised. Yunij then removes herself from Mokpung's grasp and runs towards Yan Ho, asking, has he already finished doing the laundry and firewood? Yan Ho says he has been playing Go until now, and what is she talking about? Yan Ho then sees the scratch marks on Yunij's hand. Then Yan Ho takes one of Yunij's hairbands, telling her he will borrow this. He then ties his hair. Nakmokpung tells Yan Ho, doesn't he think it's rude to listen in on others' conversations? Saying sorry, Yan Ho says he really doesn't know his manners. He goes in front of Nakmokpung and says that being said, Yan Ho doesn't think Mokpung should be the one to talk about manners. Do people who care about manners usually act like he does? With a disgusting face, Mokpung tells Yan Ho he must be the genius of Hanlim. Mockingly, Yan Ho thanks him for recognizing him, but Yan Ho has no idea who he is. When Nakmokpung tries to introduce himself, Yan Ho ignores him and says, it's all right, he doesn't really care. Mokpung gets very angry and says the genius of Hanlim should just play Go instead of getting in his way. Yonho says what a shame. He is really good at getting in people's way, just like right now. Gritting his teeth in anger, Mokpung curses Yonho. But before he could say anything else, some scholars appear and ask who is that. One of the scholars requests Yonho to play with him tomorrow. Seeing the changed situation, Mokpung leaves. Before he leaves, he reminds Yonji not to forget, if she doesn't come running into his arms in 3 days, he is going to do things his way. Yonho asks Yunij who was that. Yunij says he is a man called Mokpung. He is the adopted son of the Imperial Palace attendant who wields a lot of power. Yonho asks what was Mokpung telling her. Yunij says Mokpung wants to marry her. Yunij refused him every single time, but it's very annoying. Yonho says, but isn't he all right? He is from a good family and he is determined. Hearing this, Yunij gets very angry and says Mokpung is not trying to marry her because he likes her. He just wants to use her. Yonho might not know, but her father has really a good network in Rulin. People say that he is a perfect candidate to be a politician too. The reason he lives this life despite all that isn't just because he has no interest in civil service. Then Yonho cuts her off and with a silly gesture says, it must be because of Go, right? Yunij says no. It's because the eunuchs of the imperial palace are very wary of her father. Yonho says, why would the eunuchs do that? Isn't her father just an owner of this institute? Yunij says it's not just some institute. The Great Hanlim Institute is different from the others. They are not affiliated with any other organization, so getting to this point was difficult. But thanks to that, they have been able to form many deep connections with other organizations. The reason the eunuchs are in power despite being corrupt and useless is because the forces of Rulin have not unified to drive them out. However, if her father were able to control the forces of Rulin, the eunuchs would be in danger. That's why Mokpung's father is desperate to stop her father from taking on civil service. Recently, Mokpung's father has found a new way, a way to not have to fear Rulin uniting, while also gaining a close connection to a powerful figure in Rulin. It's the marriage between Mokpung and her. We see Mokpung kneeling and telling his father he is sorry. An individual called the Genius of Hanlim appeared, so it might be hard to continue the plan. We are introduced to the head of the eunuchs, Nokji. Nokji asks, the Genius of Hanlim, isn't he a useless good-for-nothing who just plays Go all day? Mokpung says the Genius of Hanlim is not the problem. Rather, there are people from all over the nation coming to play Go against him. There were too many eyes watching. His actions were limited because of that. It might be bad if he were to try to do something amidst all that. We see Mokpung sweating in fear while reporting to his adoptive father. Nokji says he understands why Mokpung is hesitant. Mokpung apologizes to his father. Nokji says, however, does Mokpung think that this mission is just for his sake? Mokpung doesn't know what to say. Nokji says taking over the imperial palace is a mission given by the one and only. Failing this mission is not an option for Mokpung and him both. Nokji is more afraid to disappoint him than he is of death. Nokji asks Mokpung, does he understand? While scared and sweating, Mokpung replies saying yes, he is well aware. Nokji says sometimes violence is necessary. With a creepy smile, Nokji tells Mokpung to use the crowd to his advantage and kill them all, including the Genius of Hanlim. Don't forget to like and subscribe to watch the next parts.